Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dads, listening to Tomcats, talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in to the Penny Bloom Podcast. 'Tis I, Colton Robertson, and I am joined by two of the bitches four. 'Tis Joseph George. What's up, homie?
What is up? I'm glad to be back. It's been a minute, but I'm ready to get into this. Excited about Visions.
I'm excited. What about you, Miles? How you feeling? Miles Buttress, everybody.
Feeling good.
Clap.
Feeling good.
That was the exact clap I was looking for.
Feeling good. Happy. I'm pretty sure I was bitch 4 of the bitches 4. If I remember correctly.
You might have been bitch 2.
I feel like I thought I was. It was 2 or 4 because I'm
pretty
pretty
feel
sure
like KBZ Kyler Barnett was bitch 4 of
maybe
the
he was 4.
4.
Maybe I was 2 because I vaguely remember being the. I think I was bitch 2 because I think you said my name and I said happy to be here, bitch 2 of the bitches 4.
Yeah. But let's talk some Star Wars Visions. It was good. It was good to be back with some Star Wars. You know, we left off with the Bad Batch a few weeks back, and I've been missing it. Frankly, I looked at the Bad Batch poster on my wall and I was like, "Damn, I want new episodes of the Bad Batch." Apparently, but I'm gonna let you know, in terms of casual viewing, Star Wars Visions will be a constant revisit. Like, I will always be going back to this because fuck, it is good. So basically what we're going to do is I'm just going to ask each of you how you felt. We're going to talk about some standouts for us. We'll touch on each of the episodes and stuff as we discuss. So as you hear episodes being discussed, try to think about good things you want to say about another episode. But I'm going to start with Joe. How'd you feel about Star Wars Visions as a whole?
As a whole, just to let everyone know, I binged it all the way through the first time.
I'm assuming all 3 of us did.
I did not. I actually had a good method though.
Okay.
So I binged through all the way through, and I mean every episode I was just thoroughly enjoying it. There was never a moment where I was like, "Man, I'm kind of bored." You know, there was never a moment of that, which was really nice, and I think the short form factor of the episode just has to make it action packed, or they had to shove a lot of content in it anyways. So it's you're always getting something, which is awesome. And the different styles every episode is refreshing, and it changes. You know, it just changes up every time.
It kept you in it the whole time.
For my standout episodes, the Duel, just the first off rip episode, just how it was just badass, just straight Western, but anime style. It was just
it's that old samurai film.
That's what I was gonna say.
It was
Akira
the inspiration of Star
Kurosawa
Wars.
Shit.
It was the inspiration of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Whenever I saw it like that, I was not expecting. I had heard
that black and white crackling screen. I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah. At first, I was like, "Oh, this is different."
Animated.
Well, yeah, I think they did all of them are it's all animated.
All of them, all of those are hand drawn and animated.
but it was hand drawn. But then they added effects over it to get that
the shadow, the cross hatching shadows to move around and stuff.
Yes. Yeah. No, as soon as I saw that, jumping into it, I saw it and I was like, "This is interesting." And then I was at first,
I'm glad
I was unsure of how I felt about it because I thought it was just going to be all black and white. And then the first lightsaber where it's the red, I was like, "All right, I fucked with it. it."
And the different technologies they had with the lightsaber and it just igniting out of the hilt or the sheath,
the
or
samurai sword,
called,
lightsaber. That was fun.
And that character Ronin got his own spinoff novel.
I saw that,
which I really want to read. It's a Star Wars Visions novel, Ronin. Which
I was
looks
actually
dope.
just at Barnes and Noble today, and I saw that like a Loki novel, which was interesting. It was a weird, like, kind of cartoonish looking Loki on the cover. I didn't really get a look at it for too long, but yeah, it was interesting. But man, this episode, just like it kind of like, the character is cool. The part that confused me was like, how do Sith kyber crystals ward off evil?
I don't think it's necessarily Sith kyber crystals, that it's kyber crystals in general.
But that's a kyber crystal that's been bled, right?
Yes. However,
but it is still
in the possession of someone who isn't evil, I don't think it has that same effect.
Because I was thinking really meta here.
Ronin is not a Sith.
Yeah. So I was thinking really meta.
I don't think he even has the Force, does he?
No, he does. He stopped.
He does, because whenever she swings, she goes,
that's right.
But I was thinking, like, what if, like, Sith, like, if they just sense another like bled kyber crystal near them, they're like, oh, like, yeah, there's already a Sith in that area, like, we're good. Like, we just don't need to go. Like, I don't know, like maybe it's just like it wards off evil in that way. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, or it could even just be like a, hey, like, you know, I'm already here, piss off and go find your own planet type thing. But who knows?
I mean, there's
I took it.
Two Sith.
Yeah,
I took it to mean like
just the kyber crystal.
The kyber crystal itself wards off evil, and it kind of depends on the person who possesses it, regardless of whether or not it is quote unquote bleeding. You know what I'm saying?
Something that you said to me, Colton, it was very brief, but you said that you kind of thought that these were like super into the future, telling the stories of.
I thought that specifically of the twins.
I see. I kind of, for some, like most episodes, you can kind of like make a connection back to like the original or prequel or like some sequel trilogy
stuff. Yeah.
Which was really like Tatooine Rhapsody. Like whenever I was watching that, I was like, that like kind of makes perfect sense. Like someone in the way future, like telling a story of how a Jedi turned musician, you know, saved, you know, the galaxy. Like that's just pretty badass. Like it like, I really love looking at these episodes in that perspective of like, this is someone from like
telling
the mega
story,
telling the story of like
times.
And
because
the reason it's so in different styles is because like that's what stories do over time, is they change and like get more fantasy like and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, that's why people like don't even believe the Jedi are real, because it just seems so fantasy and story like, you know, after a while the Jedi seem like they're an actual myth. Which but man, these
it was so good. Miles, how about you? How'd you feel about it overall?
Loved it. As Joseph said, really enjoyed like the changing styles. I think there was only like, I would say like maybe one episode that I didn't really really love the style of the animation, but outside of that, I still enjoyed the episodes.
I would like to know which one episode are you thinking when you think of that animation style?
Looking at them, I think it was the TOB1, like It was.
I'm with you, because it was a little less anime, more cartoon. I mean, it was still anime, but it was like really cartoony. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that was the only one where like whenever I like at first I was like, this is like really cartoony, but then
once such a cute episode though.
But once Santa Claus,
once
Santa Claus gets killed, it becomes like all the characters are then like, he was the most cartoony looking character to me.
Yeah.
Every other one I felt like you could have put into an anime and it wouldn't have stood out. He, on the other hand, he
went
looked
full
like
anime though. He went full anime mode though.
Who?
Like the
Santa Claus?
No, the TOB1.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying all the other ones I feel like you could put in other like style animes and it wouldn't jump out that much. But Santa Claus looked like a cartoon. And that was like whenever he first popped up, I was like, okay, so this is just the art style.
It was the roundness of it. It was his beard and his nose. Round and
I guess I really wasn't thinking of that during the watching it.
Yeah, well,
I really wasn't like, oh, this isn't true to anime. Like I wasn't.
No,
really
I wasn't
thinking. I
wasn't saying it wasn't true to anime. I was just comparing, like, as I was watching, since they're all different art styles. Because even looking at this, like, they made another episode. The company that animated that one also animated the last episode, and that was a different style. And so I was just comparing all the different styles as it went along to see which one I really liked the most.
I literally just sat back and just absorbed. Like I was just the most just like I don't know, like
at peace.
Yeah, it was just like a really weird zen. Like I wasn't like thinking too hard about this, of thinking about what's going to happen in the future because there is no future. It's just this is the episode and that's all I'm getting. So it's like I'm just watching this to watch it. Like I'm having 20 minutes that I'm just sitting here, and.
Well, it was also because I like binged them all. That's part of the reason why I was also like, because I knew like, all right, one after the other, I can compare them all at the same time. Yeah. Thinking about which one stood out the most, just looking at them all, I can't really it's hard to decide because there was a real strong stretch in the middle for me.
No, see, like I
loved
the way I watched it too. I'll get to it, but like, go ahead. Sorry,
because looking at it, I think I'm just gonna go with the Elder. I really like the Elder, just because it seemed.
I know you're worthy opponent.
Yeah, like it kind of seemed like the most in line with the rest of because it was the only one where I feel like we got the Padawan or the Jedi and the Padawan.
Loved that.
And that was cool, and then the old man just with two little swords and two little lightsaber daggers, and
I was like, oh shit,
you're almost a worthy apprentice for me, or a worthy adversary.
I thought they straight up killed a Padawan. I was like, damn.
I did too. Yeah, and it was like that one. I felt like was the one where it was where as I watched it, I felt the most because on all these I enjoyed them so much because there was no weight to them. Mm-hmm. I wasn't there's an established character that I love and I don't want something to happen to them type
You're
thing.
Ready for anything.
Whereas with these, it was you know what? Anything can happen. And a fucking Padawan got, stabbed in the stomach and you're like, all right, well, he's fucking dead. That's sweet. And then, they finally at the end they kill, he's about to get killed, and then the Padawan throws his lightsaber or whatever. And
we always hear the master be like, "Your arrogance will kill you one of these days," but they never actually get killed.
They
from
never actually get killed.
In this situation,
he almost got killed. And then
I saw something on Twitter that was like this Padawan master relationship felt like what Qui-Gon Anakin would have been.
Yes. Also, that I agree with that. But then also, I love the ending where they're like, "All right, we won," and then he's like, hey, "Fuck you."
Yeah,
and blows up the fucking ship.
That episode, that dude just cracked me up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just
also, why I enjoyed it so much was the old dude was just such a funny old man, even though he was also a
savage, bro. Savage,
Yeah.
Straight savage of an old man,
dude. He was slicing shit.
Also, looking I'm on right now. I'm on the Wikipedia, or Wikipedia. And I'm looking at all the episodes in a list, and the picture for the Elder is just the old man just just fucking grinning at the camera, and it's so funny.
Man, the twins though. If I had to pick my favorite episode, it might be the twins.
Yes, I would agree with that.
It's it's the most Luke. It's the most to canon.
No, that's the episode where I'm like, this feels like it's a 1,000 years in the future mythologized telling of the entire Skywalker saga, because you could argue the dark side daughter and light side son, it could all be mythologized that way. It's just
I didn't even think about that. I took it as literally just this is what, another one of Palpatine's dickhead experiments. Like this one, I feel like if this one and the Elder, if you just like threw them into the canon and was like, yeah, this happened, everyone would be like, I mean, all right, I'll take it.
I have another one, and it was my favorite.
I know which one this is. It's a great ass episode too. I know.
Village Bride.
Yep. 100%.
Dude, I love the Village Bride. And mostly because this one was like the most like by the end of it, like there's a moment in this episode that literally gave me chills and then like made me tear up a little bit. And it was when the music swelled and she was like, nah, I'm a Jedi. And like, I was like, ooh, this shit is good. But
Take
not
off
like
the mask.
that. Like she had the flashback, like she was like a survivor of Order 66. And if you listen to that flashback, it sounds like she was scared of one very specific thing, with a lot of people going like, remember your attacks, get him, somebody stop him. I think she was there when Anakin Skywalker was tearing through that bitch. Like,
and we already know someone survived it. So
what if she saved Grogu? Whoa.
That would be a really awesome way to fold this into canon.
Yeah.
That would be a great tie-in for this into canon, and it would like be great because I want to see more of this character. She was fucking awesome. But like also the fact that this the brother and sister, I believe it was, or were they the ones that were about to get married? I think
they were about to get married. Yeah.
Were they the ones who were about to get married?
I think they were about to get married, and that's why it was like, because like she wanted to get married before she got taken as prisoner.
Gotcha. Okay.
Also thinking about it, like looking through and like remembering what happened, she did have a yellow lightsaber. So she probably, if she was at the temple, would have been one of the.
What if she was a temple guard?
One of the guards, or maybe even a guard in training.
A guard being told like stop him.
Yeah, stop him. And then it was like one of her master or whatever was like, all right, get the fuck out of here. We're not winning. Leave.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know how but she had. There's no way Anakin like spared her in this moment. Anakin is sparing 0 people.
Which is why I'm saying
she had to have escaped.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying it could have been a situation where her master was like, "Get whoever you can and run," because we're not leaving here alive if we stay and fight.
Dude, what were the little heels, like little rocket boosts? Like what? Like
I got the impression that she was about to use force speed, and that she undid her shoes as to come out of them.
Oh, okay. I thought because it was kind of like opening up and yellow light was kind of shining. So I thought it was like kyber crystal power, like with the same as her lightsaber.
And but see, maybe that's the case. I really didn't get that part.
That might make more sense because I don't think she has her shoes on like after the dash. Like I don't know. I didn't even look at it. I need to rewatch it to see again. But no, that's interesting.
No, that whole end sequence where like this is fresh off the Clone War. Like the Separatists have been defeated. They evacuated. They left droids there though, and Raiders came in. So I got vibes I got Mandalorian vibes. Obviously, we got prequel vibes and Bad Batch vibes because of this post Clone War type feel. And it's like the fact that like these Raiders came in and were like gonna take over a village of people who couldn't defend themselves. And then you got a village of innocent people who end up coming together and going, you know what? Let's fight these motherfuckers. And like that rebellious spirit, I was like, that's just so inherently Star Wars. And then the fact that these people, while having that rebellious spirit, still could not defend themselves. They were not going to win this battle. The fact that in that last moment, they are saved by who? By a fucking Jedi. Like I was like,
how did that helmet turn into a rocket and then blow up and then he got it back? How did his helmet do that, bro? What was that helmet all about? That's a mad teched out helmet, bro.
That shit was crazy. How about the bride and the husband having a connection to the Force?
Like that. I liked it because I think like there is like an established like thing where some planets are just like, if you're born on like some species on certain planets, you just have a natural connection to the Force because this planet is like strong in the Force.
And that's what they were calling like their Magina? Is that what they called it? That was the Force.
Also, really enjoyed in that episode the part where he's like talking to her, like after like the wedding like celebration stuff, and he's like where he gives her the line of like where she's like, "I know what you're trying to do," and he's like, I don't care about your code, and I'm not going to pretend like I do."
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, that's funny.
A concept,
There's that guy right there.
A concept that they introduced in the Ninth Jedi that I hope they continue with is this kyber crystal
reflecting the user. Yes,
I hope that they just continue with that. I hope that it's always kind of been that way. I think George kind of made it that way. Like,
I think in a way it has been and it hasn't been.
Yeah, like I think.
Because I think it's just one of those things where George was just like, it works this way, and then a little bit later he was like, nah, actually it works this way because I think this was cooler.
That's the thing is that
and
sometimes you can kind of
it's
kind of
like,
project it onto anybody.
This
it's
kind
of like
confirmation
Yoda's
with
home
purple.
planet and species, where it's like I'm just going to decide at any given moment the way I want it to work because it's my world.
Like this was the most canon they've ever been with like this is what these colors mean because the guy that was tempted by the dark side was purple. Like that's like. And he was like, "I'm sorry, like they tempted me, like, and his lightsaber went from red to purple, and then he like turned it off, and like so that was cool. And like the girls, like the Ninth Jedi, hers turning green, like slowly over time was so cool. Like,
yeah.
And I don't know, I think that concept of like it reflecting the Jedi or like the feelings and everything is just.
Well, see, another thing that I think this series does that it gives me such high hopes for Star Wars in the future is whenever they finally just go, okay, let's go 1,000 years in the future, where we are not bogged down by anything we've really known, like, but
or even
can still obviously honor those connections. Yeah. Like this was unlike anything we've seen in Star Wars on most fronts. We got new droids that I've never seen before that were some of the coolest droids I've ever seen, like the one in the duel. And we got, the lightsabers in the duel and the lightsabers and other things. Like the shit was crazy. Yeah. Like
I think like a couple hundred or even, 1,000 years in like before or after is really where they need to just like completely split away, because before you can still like lead into things where you can show like, here's like why certain things happened type thing. Like here's, this caused these things to happen type situation. Or in the future, it could be, some like big callback of like, oh yeah, this has been this way for 1,000 years just because it's been that way because something happened. And, like you can still have the callbacks, but then you don't have to be held to characters and storylines and other stuff that can bog stories down.
Exactly.
Which is what they've done here, where they just completely split away from all the established storylines and just said, nope, we're just going to create 9 completely separate stories that have no bearing on any other stories, and it's going to be cool.
And not giving a fuck about like, yeah, that's the Empire. Yeah. Those are the Separatists.
Yeah. The only 2 things were, in, the twins, that they were on an Empire ship. And they were created by, to be like, to serve the Empire. That was the closest connection there. And then the other closest connection that I really think was, the droids in the wedding bride, or the village bride. Yeah. The droids in that, where they were like, yeah, the Separatists left him here, and then someone came and took him over.
The droid in
and
the
there's like,
there's
a couple like small droplets of callback to other stories, but it's not like, no, here's this heavily connected to, this storyline that's heavily connected to Anakin and Ahsoka and all these things that will eventually bog it down.
Nope.
That droid in the duel was R2-D2.
Just with a hat on.
Man, yeah, that's an old ass R2-D2. Because that droid took out that village instantly. He's done that before. That man has a kill count, bro. That's basically Tony Stark.
Or is it Chopper? Is it a really old Chopper?
It might be Chopper. It might be an old Chopper.
I feel like those legs resemble Chopper
looked
more
like an R2. It looked like
the body. I get
I did. That was another thing that I liked about the duel was like all the other ones. I felt like most of their like the way outside of TOB1, most of their characters looked like very similar to the way that characters have kind of always looked in the Star Wars universe, like in like outfit designs and stuff like that. But then the duel they had, like it went heavy into the samurai movie, and I fucked with it.
And what I loved about like all of this too is it shows what Star Wars species in some occasions were like kind of meant for anime. Mm-hmm. Like whenever that Tusken Raider showed up in the duel, I was like, oh shit, that might be the coolest a Tusken Raiders ever looked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was also the fucking Mon Cals and Tatooine Rhapsody and stuff. And, I mean, the huts were clearly not made for that animation style.
Boba's
like they
head
look
bobbing.
cool.
That alone.
The Boba, like, that was another callback to the rest, but
that's a cool profile
that
picture for one. And a cool GIF. I hope that becomes a GIF or GIF, whatever.
Because you said
Jabba's tail tapping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was like one more moment that was like, it was like a wallpaper moment. Oh my God, what was it? I don't know. Maybe it was the twins. Maybe it was like the light whenever they went into light speed or something like that. Whenever they like. I don't know, but it was like a really cool wallpaper moment that like freezed for a second. So like you know that it was like they were like, we know this is a wallpaper moment sort of thing.
Put this on your wallpaper.
Yeah. But since we were talking about Tatooine Rhapsody, I kind of want to go back to it for a second. That was another one that like that's a completely original, like just a fun Star Wars story that like you wouldn't get this anywhere else. The idea that we're just following some random band that happened to have like a Jedi Padawan on their crew with a hut, a little emo hut, and
I agree with that.
Starting a band,
yeah, I think that one I feel like was like probably one of the more fun episodes.
Yeah,
where it wasn't cool. It didn't do a lot of have the battles that the duel had or the light show that like the twins had, but it was a very fun episode because you're watching a fucking hut and a Jedi fucking run across the galaxy and play music for Jabba the Hutt.
Exactly.
And you get to see, as Joseph said, the Jabba and then Boba just
toe tapping and shit,
just fucking jamming out to the music.
So the way that I watched this, I had work on Wednesday, the day it came out. So I in the morning before I had to go to work, I watched the first 3. Immediately after work, I watched the middle 3. And then when I was going to bed, I watched the last 3. And it was an incredible way to watch this. Getting to watch them in little trilogies was very enjoyable, a little hour at a time or so. And I gotta say,
started off strong. That first prequel trilogy here might be the best trilogy. I mean, you got the dual Tatooine Rhapsody and the twins.
I'm not gonna lie though.
The original trilogy is pretty good here too.
That's mine right there. The Village Bride, the Ninth Jedi, and TOB1. That's just good.
These are all just kind of great. I hate to compare them, like almost like it's just.
Oh
like,
yeah, they're
I
don't want to
so
compare
them
them
episode
to episode.
Yeah, it's just
another one that we haven't talked about that was like probably my favorite animation style, La Pinocho.
I was thinking that might be the one that you enjoyed the animation of the most.
Yeah, like there was a certain nostalgia to it that made me feel like I was watching a cartoon from when I was little, but it was still so anime, you know, and I loved the character design in that. Like it was just so overwhelmingly original and still so Star Wars. Like we got another Lep, which is a species that we've only seen one other time with a character named Jax.
What the fuck's was that the cat girl?
It was the bunny girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one was like a lot, like very anime, very Japanese inspired. Like this one, like along with the duel, like this one was just, and like a lot of Japanese culture even is like shown in this episode with like, like, I don't know, just a lot of, I don't know. This episode was just really.
Well, no, like that. Like, here's the thing: is that another thing this showed me is the first time I watched it all with subtitles and in Japanese, and the second time I watched it all in English with the English cast, and I was like, this shows me that like we really don't need Star Wars to be in English, and we never have. We have all these alien species. Like, you can throw Star Wars in any language, and I'm going to fucking like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter. And seeing La Pinocha, where like the planets were more designed to reflect Asian culture and Asian communities and stuff, like, I was like, okay, like this is clearly and like mixing that culture with Star Wars, and I absolutely loved it. And obviously we've seen that play out over numerous times, like in The Mandalorian, especially in season 2, episode 5 with the Jedi. Like, that whole place was designed to reflect a Akira Kurosawa film. Like, it was all just so fucking good.
I wonder how. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I wonder how people are taking this, like, in Japan. Like, I wonder if this is like a really big hit in Japan, or like if this is something that like people have been waiting for, like in Japan. Like, I wonder if like just hearing Star Wars in their own language, like, do they get like, I would assume like Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff, they have like translated versions, but like they've never had it like anything in the Japanese style before, right? Like, this is the first anything to be an anime style of Star Wars. Like,
yeah, I'm
I don't know.
sure.
I feel like this would like be massive in Japan. I don't know. I wonder like how it's been taken over there.
Yeah, Disney Plus is available in Japan. So
oh, I didn't even think. Are they showing it
over
there?
Wait.
Like, do they even show it?
Right now Disney Plus has no plan to release its service in Japan.
Wow. So this is just wow. That's kind of weird.
It is very weird, actually. Makes me a little bit eek. Not gonna cap.
Wait, like Disney Plus isn't available in Japan, or
Disney Plus isn't available in a lot of countries.
Yeah, like a ton of countries. Like, Disney Plus is available like here in the UK, maybe Canada. I don't know.
Huh. Oh.
Yeah.
So like Japanese people aren't even watching this? Like, they can't even watch it?
It's probably one where there's probably ways to get around that. Like, you can VPN and stuff, but then also it's probably already just out online. Like, illegally.
I thought this was like, but I don't know. I just kind of always assumed there was some like Japanese release, like, you know, just like going alongside with this. Like, I don't know.
I would have thought there were.
Because this is kind of like a big deal. Like, aren't these like the biggest anime studios like in Japan? Like,
a lot of like these are big anime studios. Yeah.
Oh no, Disney. I think Disney Plus launched in Japan.
What am I looking at then?
This was June 11th. I don't know if it was this year or the year before, but at June 11th, the global rollout of Disney's new streaming service, Disney Plus, continues today as it launches in Japan.
Oh, look at this! Look at this! Look at this!
It
the Hollywood
replaces
Reporter.
the existing Japanese streaming platform Disney Deluxe, which existing subscribers will automatically be transferred over to Disney Plus. Yeah.
Wow.
So
So it's Japan to extend content offering with launch of Star in October.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like there's almost no way that.
Yeah, I was thinking that was on some fuck shit, but I guess not. I'm glad that we got around that.
Yeah. Okay.
Got through that together. That's the power of research, folks.
Yeah.
Look into things before you speak on them. That's how you do it.
Going back to the what's the episode called? Lop and Ocho.
Lop and Ocho.
Really liked like that was also like that and Duel were probably the two biggest things where I was like that is Japanese. The whole like the family sword and the like I'm doing this for my family, that kind of stuff. Like we really haven't seen like super strong family. Like a lot of Star Wars is like the found family aspect, which this is too. But
this is too.
This is too because she's adopted, but more of like the found family and like we're all
amongst friends,
unrelated, and we're just really good friends.
Yeah.
Whereas this has become like this one was like very heavily of like, no, I'm doing this for my family and for my planet, and I feel like like only like the closest other thing that we've seen was like was in Rebels with Ezra.
I was thinking the same thing.
Looking for his family and doing like trying to do everything for his planet until he they get kicked off the planet. He's like, fuck that planet.
Nah, I absolutely, and like, I loved all these episodes, like it's another one that's going to be an easy background show too.
Yeah.
Doing a bunch of shit, just playing this all the way through very, very regularly. What were some of like the standout moments specifically for you guys? Not just episodes, but like anything, anywhere that was just like, oh shit, that was cool. Just that moment in particular.
There was a lot of Force stopping things that was just really cool. In the duel, that's how he introduced himself as a Force wielder by stopping her blade, which was just cool. In the Village Bride,
they did the Kylo Ren stop the bolt.
Was there two stop the bolts? There might have been another stop the bolt. I feel like for some reason,
Stop the Bolt is trademarked and copyrighted.
Stop the Bolt. I don't know, maybe not, but obviously the twins, just the whole
lightning,
and our duo. Okay, that couldn't be more odd. Like our duo, bro. Come on, and he acted like R2 as well. Like sorry. Anyways,
I mean, don't act like one of the episodes isn't also T Obi-Wan.
It was Toby. T-O-B-I.
No, it's T-O-B-1.
I know, but his master...
He called him Toby.
Yeah.
He called him Toby, but I'm saying, like, one of the characters is also literally T-Obi-Wan.
Wait, really?
T-O-B-1.
Yeah, that's the episode... The like cartoony episode.
T-O-B. Oh my god.
That took you way too long, Joseph. Took you way too long. And also you were talking about like the cool moments. That episode or that episode whenever he like doesn't he like cut off his arm or something? Yeah. And then he still uses it and he's like, a robot?
A droid?
A droid?
Being a Jedi?
That's
unacceptable.
That's an interesting concept. Like,
yeah.
Because it was interesting seeing him, like, be told about the Force and then being like, it doesn't compute. Like, I don't understand. Yeah. Like, like, this is something that's foreign to me, which is, like, makes sense for a droid. But then, like, like, it starts to, like, click and, like, he starts to become more human, like, gain a conscience. And, like, then you're like, can any droid do like could like or is it like
this is another one where I view it as like an in-universe tale, like it's a story that's been told.
Is this like a story amongst droids? You think the droid that really actually got there, the one that actually did
a droid
it.
that became a
one
real
that
boy.
Was better than Chopper and R2 because Chopper and R2 have to be famous.
Oh yeah, like and that T-Obi-1 could not have been more clearly influenced by Pinocchio.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got heavy Pinocchio.
That I think is also part of the reason why I felt like so cartoony was like because
like even the animation style, like the way it was animated,
it looked like Pinocchio.
A little
even
bit
the
Pinocchio.
Way like the droid walks around, like his moveabouts, like was kind of even Pinocchio-esque, like. Because he even like turned like his whole body, like his whole body could move, like I don't know.
And then like how he was searching for the Kyber crystal and all that stuff, which I can't remember. Where did he end up finding it? Did they show how he found it, or was it just like he has a lightsaber now?
No, they showed.
They showed him like making the lightsaber.
He got knighted by. He got like knighted by
the Kyber crystal on the planet was the dude's lightsaber.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm saying. Is that like he just
he didn't
created
actually
the light?
Mean, like find it. He's like find me, like through me find.
Yeah. Okay. Crystal. I just wasn't sure if there was if it was just like the Kyber crystal was elsewhere, and I just completely missed out on the part where it showed him actually like finding it.
Yeah, that would have been funny if it was just actually like under a pillow or something like that, and he just found it.
The only episode I don't remember all that well is the last one.
Same.
Yeah, I don't know. I did kind of space out on it too. Maybe it is just kind of not a. I don't know. Maybe it's not a strong episode. I don't know.
That was the one where it was like he was, like the beginning is he's like trying to help like the princess or whatever, and she has her like two attendants with her, and she's like, "What the fuck are these a-holes doing? They're not going to be of any help. And they're like, yes, but we know how to get there, so go fuck yourself.
Yeah, they were weird. They were like a
Yeah.
stooge,
Yes.
like level, or esque.
Yeah, and so I just remember, and then like
rewatch this episode.
Huh?
I need to rewatch this episode.
And then like she dies, and then because like because her dad gets killed or something like that, but she's actually killed. Her dad was killed by one of her sisters. And like whenever he's he's a Jedi and he's going to help her, and they like find her sister that killed like her dad because she's a Sith, and and then she like the princess dies, and then she's like, there's a way we can save her, but you know what that means. We got to work together, and who knows what might happen to you if you become my apprentice.
No, I remember it now.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that one was solid. I just only watched it once.
Maybe that's why it was so. Hold on a minute. That's why it feels so weird. It was only 13 minutes long.
Ah, okay. So it was just a real.
Like the other ones were all like 15 to 20 minutes. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all like 15 to 20, and that one was 13 minutes. So that's why it feels. Yeah, like the next shortest one was TOB1.
I like TOB1,
as I say,
even though I didn't make the Obi-Wan connection.
I
somehow.
love that you
I really like the TOB1 episode.
I liked it. That one was just the most. That
most
was
cartoony.
the one that I liked the animation the least, but I still liked the story.
Oh yeah. Anything? I really don't have much else to say on Visions. You guys?
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I was going to talk about was like just the title. Like, do you think it means anything more than just like the visions of these anime studios? Like, is it literally that, or is it like, are they trying to be like these are like maybe
Force
like
visions?
Yeah, like maybe these are like visions that Jedi had, and like that's how the stories are told. Like, I don't know. It was just like
that could be cool.
I was just thinking into the
really
title. Like
that.
I was just like wondering why it was called Visions. Like,
yeah, my guess is that it's just like there's so many different styles. It's just these are the visions of various creators. Like that was always what I just read into it. Mm-hmm. However, obviously in Star Wars, there's the implication. Because of the implication.
I wonder if they'll ever do anything like this again, or if they'll do like a round 2, but something different.
Really hope so. And I think that hopefully with the positive reception, and hopefully it probably does numbers, because if you're not a Star Wars fan, but you're an anime fan, maybe this is reeling you in a little bit. I hope we see like a Vision season 2, or like in some way adapting things from this to apply to canon, because that would be extraordinarily fun. And maybe even because some of these stories very well could just be stories that happened. We just never saw them, like they were a part of the Empire and or, she was an actual survivor of Order 66, et cetera,
I don't know if Disney Plus by default just says season 1, episode 1 by default, but like
I think it does.
Okay, because that would be like I don't know. I don't know if this has been majorly successful for them. I don't know like how it's been doing. I haven't read up on that at all, but like I would assume this is doing well just because it's Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
But man, I don't know. I would love to see more like full, like more like even
a full blown
maybe like
series and anime.
Take like each episode and just give us like a hour, episode of one of these or something like that. Like I would love to see like the duel, like Ronin. Like I would love to see more into Ronin. I would love to hear more backstory of the twins. The Village Bride, I would love to hear her backstory. Her backstory seems like actually like could have some implications in canon, like the big canon story possibly, which could be cool. And this, man, I don't know, that I just really love the introduction of the concept of like the kyber crystal forming to the feeling of the user. Like I really hope they continue with that. Just moving
I
forward.
love that. And like even the size of the lightsaber changing. Like I was like, oh, okay, that's different because we've seen that like you can manually switch it. Like there's a way to set it so that it's short and a medium and long.
I think that's kind of a way of telling us like this is in the future. Like this is like technology's getting like this is like a new lightsaber age. Like this is a swords because it's a swordsmith. Well, I don't know because it was like right after.
It was like thousands of years in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
so, like this could very well just be.
Like, did they like?
And for that episode, The Ninth Jedi, they were really like, yeah, and like history really does repeat itself, guys.
That's right.
Like, cause you know, it was like a long, peaceful rule by the Jedi, but like Sith were low key like plotting, and then they took over for an age of Sith rule, and I was like, that sounds a lot like the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy to me. But lightsabers have been gone a really long time, so I know it's not then.
That's because I was about to say like, what if this is just a vision of the story that we all know, but if lightsabers have already been around while that history happened, then this is like
because of the implication.
The implication. Wow, what a series though.
No, I loved it.
What a thing to just wake up to. Didn't even realize it was out that day. Thank you. I thank Colton for making me realize it was out.
Been waking up nice and early lately, so I got on it.
Yeah, it was just
nice.
Just a nice experience. Highly recommend to
super lovely.
Everyone.
Highly, highly recommend, and I can't wait. What's our next Star Wars thing? Book of Boba? Like we're not getting another Star Wars thing till then. And should we just go ahead and say that's probably the next time we'll do weekly episode breakdowns? Because I know Hawkeye's coming, but I'm not going to lie to you. I have zero interest in covering that week to week.
I feel like that, unless that, maybe if it's really good.
Yeah, unless it just knocks us off our fucking socks. But to be honest, it just looks like Die Hard.
Yeah.
What's today? Oh, okay.
Today's Sunday.
I am like, I really need to know what's happening next week and what if. Like, I really need to know, right now. I have not been able to stop
next week,
thinking.
isn't it? Isn't it?
It's Wednesday. Wait, is it out?
I thought
it's not out till Wednesday.
Oh, is that when it's come out?
Yeah, Wednesday.
I thought they came out on
scared
Sundays.
me for a second. I thought I missed it by a long time, and then I was going to be schooled here. But yeah,
here's an idea. What if we did until Book of Bobo, we got together to do what if live commentaries weekly once it's all wrapped up.
Oh, I was going to say
we could love to start with next week. Would love to start with next week.
Unacceptable. We got to start at the beginning, Joseph.
We got to start at the beginning. I cannot stand disorganization.
I can't wait. Fair. I can't wait for next week to be a completely different story.
No, because here's the thing.
No.
It will be.
It will be.
No.
This is just the story they're going to continue another time.
There's no
I don't
way.
even think they'll continue it another time. I think.
Well, no, because they used that image for promotion. So hopefully they do a full-blown story on it. However, it should be kind of obvious that it doesn't matter what fucking happens.
Yeah. Also,
when that guy comes into the picture, it's over. He wins. It's game over.
Is there anything more powerful than that?
Nothing's going to happen.
No.
Can there be anything more powerful than that?
Maybe Scarlet Witch. Maybe.
How?
But even then, I don't think so.
But who knows?
Okay. So you're saying if Scarlet Witch had the gauntlet base or a version of all of the stuff?
No, I'm saying Scarlet Witch at her full max potential.
Scarlet Witch, Scarlet Witch, not
dude, I don't know, man.
Not Infinity War Scarlet Witch, WandaVision
Multiverse of Madness Scarlet Witch.
What do we call that entity? It needs its own name. It is not
That's
Ultron.
that's
it is
still
not Vision.
No, it is. It's Ultron. Because Ultron was going to.
It's just
still
Ultron?
going to be Ultron. He was still going to be Ultron. He was just like because that's why Vision's body was
true.
built. Because
That's actually Vishon.
He was just going to
callback.
take Vision's body. It wasn't going to be Vision at all. Vision named himself.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, it's just Ultron.
Why did I
it's
think that like
it's
Vision was still
Ultron
Vision
final
and
form.
Ultron captured Vision and just engulfed him?
No,
Like,
yeah, no, that's
like,
just
why did
Ultron.
yeah, that's just
I
Ultron.
am interested if we do hear him talk. Is it Paul Bettany or is it James Spader?
I feel like
Well,
I
the
love
only
some
reason
Paul
Vision has
Bettany.
Paul Bettany's voice is because of Tony Stark's. No,
Yes, it's because of Jarvis.
Yeah, Jarvis. Yeah. So
Yeah, 'cause
that's the
that's
only
Paul
reason
Bettany.
Vision has Paul Bettany's voice.
I feel like
So
if it's
would have
Ultron,
to be the
it
Lizard
has
King.
to be
Thank God.
James Spader.
I have no strings.
Love Paul Bettany to death.
And if
but
he
the
doesn't
Lizard
say-
King just
'cause
has the coolest voice in the world.
I'm the fucking Lizard
Yeah, if he
King.
doesn't say I'm the fucking lizard, that's actually his real name. He is the Lizard King.
Oh, I only refer to him as the Lizard King.
No,
What
I
if-
think
what
Sid
if,
like
like-
that too.
No, I mean this
What if-
character, like final form Ultron, is the Lizard
What if he
King.
like walks up to the screen and he's like, "This is my crew. This is blah blah blah. This is blah blah blah. This is blah blah blah," and then he points to Alligator Loki and he's like, "And this is the fucking Lizard King."
You know what
It's
I think
honestly
is going to
upsetting.
happen off rip next episode? Like Thor dead. He is going to die instantly. Like
Joseph, I don't know how to tell you this. This is not going to be next episode.
dude,
No, because here's the thing:
why
we still
not?
got
Why do
Gamora,
you
daughter of
think that?
Thanos.
Why do you
what
think
if?
that?
What if
Because
Gamora,
they're not
daughter
doing
of Thanos?
that. Like the whole point of What If is that it's literally like
No, no, no.
one-off episodes.
No.
Your
This-
best shot
this-
is that
this
they
was their way
continue
of
this on a
saying-
separate story.
This is their way of saying no. It's not a separate story.
I'm saying like in like a
story.
separate like they'll expand on the story elsewhere. That's your best bet on it because
okay.
I feel like there's no way they continue the story.
Hmm.
You know what, Joseph? They've been listening to this podcast and they've heard your hard on for Ultron, and they said, "I'm gonna fuck with Joseph."
No, they're giving me
They're
Ultron next
spite
week.
you.
I'm at least getting Ultron next week. I
feel like
I
you're
think
not
what they're
getting Ultron.
doing. I think what they're doing is that we think every episode was completely different, right? But they were. But now, like that, this episode happened. It kind of like broke even like the fifth wall because the fourth wall's already been broken with the Doctor Strange episode and the Watcher talking to Strange and stuff like that. But this is kind of like a fifth wall break, in a way because it's like
do you know what the fourth and the fifth wall are, Joseph?
well, no,
The
I
fourth
mean,
wall is broken
okay,
every single episode whenever he talks to us.
I know.
'Cause that's
I
the
know.
fourth
It's
wall.
hard. It's like the sixth wall. It's the fifth and sixth
There's-
wall that's like being broken here.
I think the fourth wall is the final wall, Joseph.
Well, it's kind of like they're playing like a metagame with. They
Well,
kinda-
here's the thing. I saw a theory that I didn't put much stock in early on, but the more we get into it, the more I'm like, oh, okay. We get closer and closer to the Watcher with the camera angle every single episode, and this one they were like, "We're gonna put you right in his fucking face."
he is
Like we were
he's
right
getting
there.
closer and closer to interfering. That is what
Yeah.
this is leading up to, and I think like this being the first episode to have somewhat of a connection to the next episode is like their way of telling us like there's more of a
We're
story
about to finish
here.
this off on a storyline.
Like this is a story, yeah, with the Watcher.
Joseph,
Instead of just
I'm gonna stay up until 2 a.m. Not even to watch the episode. I'm just gonna stay up just to watch the first 30 seconds of the episode, and then just if it's not about it, I'm just gonna send a message and be like, "Suck it, Joseph."
if
and then go to
it's not
sleep.
about Ultron, I will be so sad because I will be staying up for until 2 a.m. Like that, the screenshot of Ultron in the full decked out gear,
Mm-hmm.
I had it paused there just on my TV for like the whole rest of the day, and I just kept looking at it like, oh my god, like this is going to be the best Marvel content like that I could ask for because he's just going to go off like. He's just gonna he's gonna do some small shit that's impressive, but then he's gonna be like, "Oh, you think that's impressive? Let me show you on a galactic scale what I just did that I can do with literally every Infinity Stone." Like I'm ready. I don't know. I'm just ready, and if they don't.
And
give
on
it to
that
me, I don't
note,
know.
And on that note, I think we ought to wrap it up. This was the Penny Bloom Podcast. We talked some Star Wars visions. It was very fun. Some what if talk there at the end. I didn't see it coming, but I'm glad it happened. And there will certainly be more of it in the future. Head to patreon.com/KoroBloom, where you will find over 16 hours of exclusive content, including a 45-minute introduction on the front of this episode that we were just all over the place for, but it was a great conversation. A lot of talk about school system, how it works, why it is flawed in some cases.
And go to Chipotle, try their brisket.
More on that in the Patreon. But yeah, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be back. Can't wait for whatever we're doing next. What if live commentaries? Maybe. I'm ready for it.
Maybe.
Let's do it.
Maybe. Thank you, Miles motherfucking Buttress, for being here.
Hey, man. Happy to be here. Happy to be back anytime.
And we'll see when that is. Perhaps perhaps next time even?
Maybe.
Next time even.
Perhaps the next time you're here, you'll be here even?
Mayhaps.
Mayhaps even. Yeah, fuck yeah. Head to Twitter, follow @PennyBloomPod. Head to Instagram @PennyBloomPodcast. Again, head to patreon.com/KoroBloom. That's COROBLOOM. And fuck yeah. Peace, love, and bloom. And always praise Keanu Reeves. If I got to be honest.
New Matrix movie.
New Matrix movie.
Talking at the end, just so we don't get cut off, and you don't cut off.
Well.
Oh, do you want to talk about it? Actually, I'm sorry.
I don't know.
No,
that's all right.
I was just trying to fill the